If you are trying to lose fat and get healthy, we are always focusing on the best diet and the best workout plan. What if I tell you you are missing something very, very important? And by not focusing on this one thing, you are setting those two areas up for failure. So let's unpack. What's that one thing that we need to address at all times? And that one thing is stress management. Why do I say stress is vitally important if you want to live healthy and get fitter? The first reason is escapism. We are good at avoiding stress, hiding from stress. And we usually do that through forms of escape, being binge eating, Netflix binge watching, social media, alcohol, online gaming, gambling, pornography, sex, whatever. Everyone chooses their own form of escape one way or another. That's part of being human. We don't like emotional distress, feeling that stress. So we start looking for a way out of it. And for many of us, that unfortunately comes down to two of the biggest ones, which is food and alcohol. When we are stressed, think about your own habits. That food you reach for, is that generally the best food choices? Definitely not. But every time we eat because we are stressed, we eat those high energy dense foods, the hyper palatable foods, the bags of chips, the chocolates, the donuts, the muffins, the ice creams, all these kinds of stuff. They pack a lot of energy per gram. And guess what? We're not losing weight. In fact, when we binge on these foods, we are slowly increasing our weight. But then what about alcohol? Again, many of us self-soothe with alcohol. We escape. Alcohol switches down the prefrontal cortex, which makes us less ruminate, less think about the problem, less worry about the problem. It relaxes us. But here's the problem. That alcohol is the second highest energy dense molecule we can consume at 7 calories per gram. Irrelevant what form of alcohol, whiskey, brandy, gin, tequila, beer, alcohol is alcohol. That's 7 calories per gram. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks later, where do you think that energy is going? That's still to our energy balance. Then we had a few drinks. Now suddenly we're a bit hungry. Because we're intoxicated, we have less willpower. Now, what food choices do you generally make when you had a few drinks? Healthy choices or the easy, convenient choices? So now you're already loading up energy with alcohol, and now you're choosing highly processed fast foods. You see how this form of escapism can lead us to eat more food than we are supposed to eat, meaning we're not losing weight and we're actually gaining weight. But the second reason stress needs to be addressed is because stress affects our sleep. And if our sleep is affected, there's a few things happening. Firstly, if you affect your sleep, you're sleep deprived. You are less insulin sensitive the next day, which means your average blood glucose spikes will be higher and your blood glucose dips will be lower. Those are glucose dips that are lower, leading to more cravings, quicker hunger pangs, and those cravings are generally for highly processed foods, that box of donuts, the muffins, the chips, the chocolates, all these kinds of stuff. Secondly, when we are sleep deprived, we're also less leptin sensitive, and leptin is our satiety hormone. Now, if I'm less sensitive to that, let's say you have a plate of food. Generally, you can eat 600 calories of it and it will satiate you. Now, you will eat 800 calories before it satiates you. That means 200 extra calories coming in towards your energy balance, plus the glucose spike from it, the glucose dip, where that meal would have satiated you, say for 4 hours, 3 hours later, cravings kick in. You're already hungry. When we are stressed, it's hard for us to shut down the brain at night, calm down, so we struggle to fall asleep. And then when we do fall asleep, we wake up during the night and the brain starts running with us again and again and again. See how this is leading to more energy intake, and we are trying to lose weight. But also where sleep comes in, a bad night of sleep. How's your mental clarity? Brain fog? Do you have all the energy in the world? Do you all have the willpower, that mental clarity? No, you don't. So how easy is it now? You've had a bad day at work. You're really sleep deprived. You are stressed. You know you should still be going to the gym today. But you know what? It's been a hard day. I don't have the energy for this. I'm too tired. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. So, and while we're at it and skipping gym, let's just get takeaways. I'm already tired. So yet again, what just happened? I'm bringing down the energy I'm expending by not exercising, and I'm increasing the energy that I'm intaking by getting takeaways. A lot of us do this day in, day out. What do you think that is doing to your health, fitness, and weight loss journey? Is everyone helping? That's why many of us slowly over time get bigger and bigger. So 5 ways to start reducing stress in order for you to start becoming the healthy person you know you can be and you are capable of being is, number 1 is exercise. Exercise is one of the best forms of stress relief. We use that cortisol, that adrenaline, that stress, that emotions. Exercising is a great way to get that out. But also when we exercise, the increased blood flow to the brain, it gives us more clarity to think, problem solve, pattern recognition. Exercise is one of the best forms of stress management. Yes, it's sometimes the hardest one because we're stressed. We don't feel like doing it. But exercise, one of the last things we should stop if stress is getting to us. Second one, journaling. Getting your thoughts out on paper is a very, very important thing. Most of us don't want to journal. We're afraid of it. We don't know how to do it. Here's how I do it. Every night, I'll write the date and the day. Then I'll give the day a score out of 10, 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, or something like that. Then I write, why was it a 2 out of 10? Why was it an 8 out of 10? Or why was it a 5 out of 10? That creates an anchor point for me to attach and to reflect through. Why was today a 3 out of 10? What could I have done that was better? But also, once we write down all these stress, these emotions, these ruminations, how much of that is what we can say our lizard brain, our emotional part of the brain? Once we start writing it down, it's easier to process it through our prefrontal cortex. We are thinking, we are writing, we're getting it out. But at the same time, I know now I've written it down. It's in my book. I can address it again tomorrow. You can't outthink stress. You need to process stress. Write it. Get it out. Journaling is one of the best things you can also do. And I'm not saying write 400 pages every night. Just start by 5 minutes in the evenings, giving your day a score. 6 out of 10. Great. Why was it a 6 out of 10? 8 out of 10. Wow, it was an amazing day. Why was it a good day? 2 out of 10. Why was it a 2 out of 10? And you know what? Build the habit of that. Journaling has changed many people's lives. Don't diss it unless you try it. Third one, meditation. And when I say meditation, I always get that weird stare. What is this? I'm not going to sit there cross-legged, woo-woo, music and everything. No. What I want you to think about when it comes to meditation is bare bones meditation. In other words, set a timer for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, however much you are comfortable with, and focus on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Within 10 seconds, you're going to have a thought. And if you think meditation is not about having thoughts, you are going to create more suffering and stress for yourself. In 10 seconds, you're going to have a thought. Once you realize you're on this thought, just come back, focus on your breath. 10 seconds later, guess what's going to happen? Another thought. 10 seconds later, another thought. And that's exactly the point. Every time you notice you're on this train of thought, come back, focus on your breathing, and then do that again. Over time, what that teaches us is impulse control. You have about a few split seconds to decide, are you going to react to your thoughts and emotions? And once we react to these thoughts and emotions, we run with them. Anger, frustration, sadness. But that's the thing. Your thoughts and emotions are just like clouds. You don't have to attach to them. And meditation gives us the ability to see them for what they are. But you know what? I'm not going to entertain the thought. I'm just going to focus back on my breath. It teaches you to detach from the thoughts. Meditation is a practice that takes time, but everyone can do 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes every now and then. Fourth one, spending time in nature. Go for a walk. You don't have to go running. Just get in nature. Get to the beach, get into the woods, get into the mountains. Nature has an ability to just calm us down. There's always beauty to be seen in nature. And also, when we're in nature, we feel small in comparison to the vastness of nature. It makes our problems feel smaller. But nature has always had a tranquil effect on people. If you're having a very bad day, lace up your sneakers or your hiking shoes and just drive somewhere for 5 to 10 minutes if you can. Get some time in nature. You'll be surprised, 15 minutes even, just in nature, how much better you feel. Nature is an amazing way to think clearly, work through our stresses, and get to grips with what we need to do. And the fifth one is seeking professional help. We are great and always trying to do everything ourselves. And we think when it comes to stress, mental health, all these things, we need to do it ourselves, suck up our emotions, walk it off. Asking for help is not a weakness, it's a strength. The strength of, you know what, I'm not coping, I need help. That takes power. It's not weakness to ask for help. Think of it this way. You go to school to learn skills. If you need to develop a new skill, say Photoshop, photography, videography, a new accounting course, a new marketing course, whatever skill you don't have, you need to develop that skill. What do? You go look for help. You find a coach, a mentor, you buy books, you find reading material, you learn something from somebody else. Exactly the same. Living healthy, working through our stresses. A lot of times, asking for help isn't because you're weak. It's just you need the tools to get you to the next level. Don't ever think asking for help is weakness. And if you want, send me a DM. I can help you with a few things. I can send you a few PDF prompts to go through. You are not alone, and asking for help is not weakness. It's a strength. We all need a bit of guidance sometimes. From those 5 things, start thinking what's the easiest one to start and slowly build the habit of dealing with your stresses. Unless we're going to face the things that keep us stressed, nothing will ever change. And the longer we're in that situation of stress, living healthy, losing weight, it's not going to happen. From all 5 of these, which one resonates with you the most? Think about the 3 to 4 things that causes the most stress in your life. Write them down and start brainstorming things you can start doing to actually face them, to address them. What steps can you take in fixing them? Because unless you are going to try to fix them, nothing will happen. These 5 methods, they are there to help us in order to address the stress, to make the hard choices, put up the boundaries. Remember, if you're not going to do it, nobody's going to show up to do it for you. And in the end, it's the hard things we need to do that gives us the skills, the tools, and the pride in showing, you know what, I overcome this challenge and I know I can. And the better we get at that, the easier it is to focus on living healthy, losing the weight, and getting fitter. Stress affects all 3 of those. Don't let it create more pain than it's supposed to. And as always, try to be 1% better today than you were yesterday. And if you appreciated this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, a subscribe, and share this video with someone you think that might benefit from it.